So, and even knowing this, still
Yeah.
like it's affecting.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's only knowing is not good enough. Like, like, like this is I think the time we are living in the world, is the age of every morning you open your phone and there are like so many knowledge messages, that, this and this and this. And you read and you think, everyone is like in a very good space. But when you open newspaper, the news is not so good. News is always very different than the WhatsApp. So I think, knowledge alone is not good enough unless knowledge has like embedded in you, kind of like, unless, knowledge is not part of your memory. Like when knowledge is not part of your memory, then only you are not affected. Otherwise, the effects will be there.
like even from, like even if I can see like why someone is doing something and where it's coming from, like really like tracing it, like
Yeah,
where it comes from, like even seeing that,
yeah.
like
Still
still like I expect them to like do
be
something
differently.
different.
Yeah. I think it's human nature to expect from others, and also human nature not to expect from yourself. Like generally, like if we really honestly watch ourselves, so I want whole world to be honest except me. So I can keep on being dishonest, and if others are honest, then that will be easier for me. Like if honestly I look, this is how I will feel. Like I will feel that everyone should be honest other than me, because honesty needs some cost from me also, like from everyone. So, that is how we are. So, we have to be accepting that.
But yeah, I wonder if like how accepting we have to be to like, because we don't want to be with anyone yet. Some people we feel like somehow it's more easy to
To
be
be with.
honest, and with other people it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, like some people who really accept you more, you feel like easy to be with them. Some people who don't accept you, they like really pinch. So of course you feel pinching and.
Isn't that also helpful, like to kind of be clear about kind of with whom you want to be and like what kind of environment you choose, kind of.
Yeah, certainly. But then, that is like a situation, and you cannot find, like, because you cannot be at one place. You have to also be away from that place. So you can create surroundings for you unless you are not moving out of them. And life is so that you have to, you have to visit Pushkar, like so many places you really want, and then everywhere you cannot make like your surroundings.
It sort of comes down to a bit of a deeper level of self-disclosure in a way, isn't it? And wisdom about who you might disclose things to or not.
Yeah.
But then how much you're honest, I'm finding, I listen to that, like how much I'm honest with myself.
That's the that's the only thing counts,
Yeah.
because like we really try to to put some this chilies in eyes of others. Like generally, like our behavior is to, like when I have to speak to someone else, I'm like so perfect. But when I look into me, I'm not. And I don't accept that I'm not perfect. I accept because I really want to almost cheat everyone that I am so good. And if they believe that, then I can also fulfill my, my hidden purposes. So generally, like we are like that. And in order to really be better, I have to really look into me than expecting from others. And when I really look into me, then I can see that there are so many things in me. Also others have that. So if I have that, why I should not forgive others? Like then also forgiveness comes, and also I might kind of start healing me as well as.
Really let it.
Yeah, let it kind of embody you. Let knowledge embody you. Like knowledge is generally like on our head actually. It's like there is a distance between knowledge and me. So many times I am without knowledge. I forget knowledge, and I act what I am. So only when knowledge also becomes me, me is including knowledge, then only this possibility is there. Otherwise, always, like I want to remember only good for me, not bad for me.
It sounds like you're talking about the distinction between Jankari and Gyan.
Yeah, it's like actually Jankari is the Gyan. Like in today's, generally like we, like the Jankari, like all the schools we go, they give Jankari,
Do people, everybody knows what Jankari is? It's information. It's head knowledge.
Yeah. So everywhere we go, it's, and then we also accept that Jankari is good enough.
And everybody else is saying this is like the measure of
awe of what's actually real, and when you're a good person, you should have Jankari, and you should have it in your on your phone all the time. And,
Yeah.
we need to throw our phones in the Ganga.
Not not to throw anything, just use everything. But like you use phones, but knowing that these lines have nothing to do with me. When you are sending them to someone, also know that these lines have nothing to do with me. I'm just doing it. I'm just playing with this. Then maybe there is a chance to embody those lines.
Do you feel that then somebody just said, in terms of like knowing your true nature, is there any use from any Jankari?
Yeah, because it's like for the life, for life as it is, Jankari is also important,
For functioning.
Yeah, for
But
functioning.
I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of going within,
It's not. Because otherwise, Kabir, he says, "Masi kagaj chuyo nahi." I haven't touched, paper and ink.
even though he wrote so many things.
No, he has not written. He only sang. So, like, he didn't have any kind of jankari. But, of course, he really went in.
Yeah. So
And
when
then-
you read those things now and you speak those things, so there's some transmission in Jankari on some level.
Yeah, because jankari really helps me to express that. Like the words I learned is also jankari. Like So the words I use is from my jankari, but then what I speak is like what is there. To express that, I use words.
So sometimes though you don't, my experience around you and around some people is that words aren't necessary, there's communication there.
Yeah.
The words are necessary as long as they're necessary for who you're communicating.
Yeah, certainly. It depends on situation. Many times words are not needed, Like only some current of connectedness, helps.
Is that pragya?
I,
You don't know. Okay,
yeah, I don't know. I can say yes also to you, but if they say same thing to pragya, yes, of course, yes.
So do you think that like behavior in this realm is I don't know how to ask the question really, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of difference of opinion if you look at the spiritual world and this is some people say, oh, what you do is so important and the way you behave with people is so important, and other people say it's just a dream.
Like
So
if you,
why is there any importance? What is
yeah, if life is a dream, then everything is a dream.
Yeah.
So, like it depends on, like, really depends on oneself. Sometimes you really need to those behaviors, really to kind of, so that you are very straight. Like for being straight, maybe those are very helpful sometimes.
Being straight means being in alignment with
Yeah,
your
in alignment, yeah.
self and your outer expression.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is true even after the dawning of wisdom inside. Like, this part of the dawning of the wisdom is to straighten that out.
Mm-hmm.
Because there seems to be like, I just, like last few months, I was really like seeing that part of me like wants to trust the words.
Mm-hmm.
If I speak with someone and then there's like some maybe willingness to believe the words,
Mm-hmm.
but then many times I just get disappointed because the acting is so different from the words.
Yeah.
And then suddenly like this thing comes, okay, like let me not like trust the words too much, but really like look more like what is the action. But then again, like that is also kind of not really like seeing, because the actions also can come from so many places and mean like really different things. So it's very hard to kind of know the authentic sense
Yeah.
of the other kind of.
Yeah, certainly. But like only when
What can you say like maybe there's like guidelines like how you
no guidelines, you really have to be authentic to yourself. Like when you are transparent, in that transparency you also see others. Like it's not that you have to be transparent for others. You have to be transparent for yourself, and that enables you to see others as well as.
so that kind of seeing would be more like an intuition, like feeling them.
Anything you call, I don't know like what word to give to it, because the intuition is also like very much, like many people say, this is my intuition, and then later you find out that was their wish, not intuition.
So when you're fully transparent in yourself, do you actually experience others as others? Right.
Yeah.
It's all self. Or whatever.
Whatever,
Huh?
whatever, it's like I like to say it's Ram Charan,
Yeah. So I think from that perspective, you can't really, at that level of consciousness, you can't hold on to any feeling that somebody else did something wrong. It doesn't function at that. That's a mind judgment. Or somebody did something. I think that sometimes people look for answers too much. Like you can say, well, how to bring the knowing that nobody does anything into a relationship, which seems so different. But that's the mind saying there's a difference in the first place. But then as soon as you say it's just the mind, right there is you're setting it up for like what you said. Doing all sorts of nonsense and saying, well, there's no self. So I think the mind just doesn't want to be quiet and allow life to function.
Yeah, certainly, it's not nature of mind, If mind is quiet, then there is no mind.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be no.
This has been very nice koan. Nobody wants to be no. Nobody very much.
if someone else annoys me, it's like that part of myself annoying me, or
Like you allow others to annoy you, like you are not master of your life. Anybody can, do that to you.
So how am I dealing with this?
Like if you look the expectation, you expected something from other person, and because as long as other person has been fulfilling your expectation, it was perfect match. Only when your expectation was not fulfilled, then you feel hurt.
Uh-huh.
So you really have to look, should I expect this?
But it's so unpleasant in the body also.
Yeah,
Sometimes
certainly.
it really like so unpleasant.
Yeah, it's really, because it's part of you, it becomes, you allow somehow that expectation to be you.
I'm not doing this. It's like,
Yeah, but some point, you did it.
But what gives like someone the power to affect me in such a strong way?
Because you expected that person to be in certain way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But then also I can't drop the expectation because I didn't put it there in the first place.
No, you put it in the first place. That's the kind of, because you think you haven't put, and this is why you think that you cannot drop it.
Okay.
Maybe also put there a touching of the day.
Do you remember what you ate day before yesterday for lunch?
Not exactly.
No, yeah. So if you cannot remember for day before yesterday, how can you remember,
Uh-huh.
when you were only 16 or
Yeah.
17?
Yeah. Okay, so if I don't have access to that, then like that's for practical reasons.
Just for
So how can I drop it now?
Yeah, that's what you really have to access. Then only you can drop.
Access the place where
Where
Put
you
it.
started, where you started creating that
that
expectation.
expectation.
Yeah, and in which situation,
Which has nothing to do with that person, of course.
like because the expectation was there, then you saw that this person can fulfill my expectation, so then you chose that person.
Okay.
And the expectations are really, really old and deep.
Very
And
deep.
we don't have, access to what the actual forming of that expectation was. By staying in the moment, it loosens up, but does it ever really, can we ever really live as human beings completely free of these things?
If you really stay with it, you will be able to, like slow, it goes, you have to spend time, it goes really slow. You cannot make it. But like if you stay with it, you can see yourself free of that,
You can
free of,
still
yeah,
do that. Yeah.
free of that
Right.
expectation.
Yeah.
And once you see that you are free of that expectation, then you see how you create it.
In the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, the next moment comes when somebody triggers it. again. And
Yeah, but that is a different, that will be a different story. So also for that you have to do same kind of thing.
We had this conversation yesterday about this, like how like this inner child kind of still kind of waiting for the mother
Mm-hmm.
to kind of take care,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course it's not going to happen. No? So we know that. And then I guess it's not going to be fulfilled. No?
Yeah, but then
It's like
also you know that,
basically staying with that pain, kind of.
yeah, or you just know that this is not going to be fulfilled.
Yeah,
Like just know and accept.
yeah,
Then without that you will not feel pain.
and just accepting that.
Yeah, accepting that my mother, I'm not anymore 6 days old.
Yes.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
I have a
But
big,
still carry that expectation.
yeah, but then that expectation is that because you still feel that I'm somewhere still 6 days
Yes,
old.
which is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as I'm
Mhm.
listening, like I feel like somehow like there is something like in this, like, I just feel like there is something very beautiful also in, you could say, needing each other. It's not exactly needing, but
Mhm.
so, and to me there is a sense, you could say, of expectation, in the sense of expecting the other to be there, like the
Yeah.
like for this ground where we can share, not that much like expecting as if
Mhm.
if you don't do what I expect, then I fall into like desperation,
Mhm.
like I fall broken, say. But I think like it feels like in living and in relating there is something beautiful in, you can say, like softly expecting, like I don't know how to say. Like,
Yeah, and maybe not
Meeting.
like
What
even
do you say?
when you are not expecting, still you want to be.
Yeah.
It's not that this like you will just ignore. It's not like life itself is full of love, and love really flourishes if there is also love.
Yeah.
So for not for your expectation, but for love to flourish, you will kind of need surroundings. The
Sometimes in this, say, spiritual discussion, it seems like as if we should not, expect, but there is a dryness and a solitude in this, And I
Yeah.
think in relating, we maybe we're not expecting, but it's so much joy. Say, I'm not expecting you to come, say, to my room, but if you come, like there is big joy inside.
Yeah,
Like,
certainly.
like
yeah.
it can go into this place where I think is also not.
No, because it is like there is like when say as a technique, when I use no expectation, I will put some boundaries because that time
Yeah.
I haven't learned how to handle. So of course there is a time when like putting boundaries is very helpful. But it's not for always. The boundaries are not for always. Once the tree becomes tree, then fences has to be dropped. So all fences are very, very helpful. When we are very, like when cows can eat us, like any goat can come and eat us. By that time, fences are very important. But then, when we are grown up, like no goats can reach, no cows can reach. So then, of course.
Yeah, because very easy then no expectation.
No, it's like it's a way.
I don't want this fence.
No, like it's like kind of,
Yeah.
it's
No.
like we in spiritual realm we have to talk both,
Yeah.
the protection
Yeah.
and the state after protection.
So can you
Because-
say that when the tree gets bigger, that everything is there? Expectation can be there, no problem. Because
It's no problem because
the
it's
attachment
yeah.
to having the expectation fulfilled.
Yeah,
that's
it's-
not so strong.
yeah,
Even
that's
that
not
might
there.
bite a little bit, but this is just part of the.
Yeah, this is like then is a different kind of flow of life happens.
A
Different kind of flow of life happens. Yeah, and everything is anything is not a problem.
Right.
Nah.
So then, I think the question for oneself is, are you experiencing things as a real problem and is life a headache, or is it more even, with the small things that don't go our way, is there that deeper sense of no problem?
Yeah, I think even like no problem is also not there,
Yeah.
because no problem is when you
That's the
have
problem.
little problem.
Yeah. So in that state, you just enjoy and love everything.
I don't know.
And also I feel like on the way, like as we are
Mhm.
living, is also you can say like maybe not to entertain that, but to really listen each other, like, and how valid it is. What, for example, like what Anton was saying, like just sharing, like that. I was just noticing inside how annoyed I am by this. And I feel there is like a place where we can say this and hold this also, like, yes, we know that there is a place where, but like this sense of also like holding this truth also, like what we are feeling in one given moment, and yeah, it just feels like how to say, like we just should not, because then what I see then is like we don't dare to say these feelings, like if we jump too quickly into like this, ultimately this should not be there, then among us we end up not sharing this, because it's as if like, if we say this we are lower than, and it becomes like a really crappy game, So how to hold everything, like the emotion and the pain and even the anger, what is there, and also seeing all this on the light of what we know, like ultimately, like say what we are walking to. It feels like really somehow we need to listen to each other from these days also. So for me, like, I have to deeply listen and also not to entertain, because there is a listening where we could just like keep on, this game, like the cars. Anyway, you know this, no? Like how do you say this? Yeah, before we had these cars that you do like zig, 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 and then zip, they run, no? So there is a place of listening to these emotions, which would be like giving power to us. It feels to me like another place where we can really listen to each other and also like, be open to.
So there's this relaxation in expressing just like saying things, even with expectation. Like I feel already like if I can just share my expectation, it's less like strong, like force. Because if I can share it, it's okay. It's like it's not a bad thing. And then I feel less kind of driven also, because it's like, okay, this is what I wish or what I like. Okay.
So maybe time to go into Ganga in a different place. And this afternoon at 3, Aditya ji will be reading Shankaracharya's, this drug like this Sanskrit reading. There will be at 3 from book from Shankara, and he will be, like he's a Sanskrit scholar, so he will kind of try us to teach.
At
3 o'clock, yeah, today. Instead of Kabir, yeah.
Where?
In the hall, in the kind of room we can call, not hall.